tuberculosis. You are the reason for the nails in your coffin. Shame, shame, I know your name.
Today on Podcast Rock City Live, Joey couldn't make it, and I asked Sonny, hey, could you find somebody? So he drove down to the center of town, found the closest homeless guy he could, brought him to the studio, and we're going to tell you all about this guy, Chris, right there on our show today. Are you prepared for this, sir?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Today on Podcast Rock City Live.
Podcast Rock City.
What's up, everybody? Joe here from Podcast Rock City, and with me this week is Sonny Hollywood Pooty.
Wow.
That was awesome, by the way. And I don't know if people have noticed, but like me and Casada haven't been on together in a long time.
That's because they're the same person and people don't know it.
Yeah, right. On the prettier side.
Now let's talk about the prettier side. Right there is Lee, the goddess of thunder. How you doing?
What's up?
Happy birthday, Lee. Yesterday was Lee's birthday, and we celebrated and watched some killer bands.
Yep.
And had a good time. Down there is this guy wears like 40 different hats, but we're gonna use two. So the first hat is he is one of the co-hosts of Decibel Geek, which has been on how many years now? 11 or 12?
It'll be 12 in April.
Amazing.
Wow.
How many episodes have you guys done?
I just put out 518.
Holy crap. How many members of KISS hate you?
Well, we know one for sure. Maybe more.
And he also is the creator of the Rock, which is a podcast rock and roll fest, concert fest in Tennessee every year. We try to do it every year, right?
Yeah.
And it's coming up just next month. So we're going to talk about that. And in order to do that, we have to get to the news.
Podcast Rock City News.
I suck so bad. I didn't even tell you that his name is Chris Sinzak.
Well, it's right there.
People know that. It says it right there.
I know, but there's people that are listening that don't know that. Anyway,
They don't know how to pronounce it.
No, that's true. Yeah. So Chris, it's getting close. I can remember. Every time you've been on, I always tell the story about I'm driving down the road and my phone rings and you're like, dude, do you think that if I did a thing in Tennessee, you'd come? And I was like, absolutely. This sounds like a lot of fun. And this is our 5th year.
Yeah, it would have been 6, but this is our 5th.
Right, but we had to something else happened last year and you wound up doing it. So we're really excited about this. And every year it seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger, which is kind of cool. Now I know that you sleep the best the day after the Rockin' Pod and the 8 months or year before, since it's actually about 8 months when you start planning, right?
Yeah, yes. Actually, it was like 10 months this time.
I know you don't sleep hardly at all.
No, I sleep. It's okay. Yeah, we have a good team.
Sleep.
I handle it a little better than I have in the past, but yeah, I mean, it's still tough. But yeah, no, it's going good. And I haven't slept great lately, and I probably won't until it's over. But yeah,
over.
And that great sleep you're referring to is more of a coma. Yeah.
Yeah. So the MO is the coma after it's over. Then the next day, a Facebook post saying, I'm never doing this again. Then it's 3 weeks later, and it's like, I'm looking for dates for next year. And then 2 months later, it's like, okay, we're going for next year. Like every year, same thing happens.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I feel like that every time I turn off the show.
Well, my wife likens it to pregnancy. She's like, it's a pain. You're tired. You hate yourself. You say you're never going to do it again, and then you see the result, and you're like, okay, I can do it again. And that's pretty much how it always goes.
So this year it's coming up. It's just a few weeks away. Tell everybody the date, and it's in Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville, March 17th through 19th. So St. Patrick's Day weekend, which should be fun. And yeah, pre-party concert Friday night. A lot of special guests at that. Expo Saturday, Keel Fest Saturday night, Kiss Expo's movie screening Saturday afternoon, and a comedy show with lots of great comedians and Eric Martin to close it off. That's the broad picture, but yeah, there's a lot more than that.
So let me ask you this: when you start booking these people, do you know their management? Is this something that you've had to learn how to do? Because obviously you've had a lot of these people on your show, right?
Well, not so much now. The first year or two was like really begging for favors, just to, hey, you've been on my show, you live here, you want to come to this, and a lot of time they'd say yes. But no, now it's all manner of methods, man. You reach out to their management, you reach out to their agent, or you reach out to them directly if you're friends on Facebook. Facebook is a great tool for that. So all kinds of and friends of friends, I'll book one guest, hey, my friend so and so from this band might want to come. So it's a lot of relationships. So it just very many different ways of how we get them.
So let me ask you this. This year's lineup feels very different than any of the other lineups. We have a lot of new people this year.
Yeah.
Tell us some of the new people.
Well, I mean, one of the biggest names is Eric Martin from Mr. Big. He's never been to it before. So, and Eric's going to be involved in all 3 days doing the pre-party show, the expo, and then the comedy show, where he's going to do stand-up comedy, which should be interesting. But no, I mean, Brett Carlisle, the new singer for Great White, Stevie Rochelle from Tough and Metal Sludge, Jason McMaster from Dangerous Toys, and a million other bands. It's a long list. I mean, a good chunk of them are first timers. So I try to mix it up every year and also expand it. I mean, we've even got Bob Berryhill from the Surfaris, who did Wipeout, coming, and I think he's going to play at the pre-party show. So
wow, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this year's the 60th anniversary of Wipeout, so he's kind of coming to talk about that. But no, we change it up every year.
So, okay. So let's tell everybody, give everybody as many details as you possibly can. So it is in Nashville. Give them the date again. Tell them where they can find tickets, please.
Oh, well, everything is at rockinpod.com, ROCK, the letter N, POD.com. And different types of tickets. There's a few of the lowest tier VIP left, but a lot of general admission. For the expos, over 50 celebrity artists, panel discussions, signings, vinyl, memorabilia, comics, toy, all kinds of dealers, signing sessions, live podcast interviews, and all kinds of fun. That's going to be a full day in and of itself. That's Saturday, March 18th. Pre-party show will be awesome. I'm excited. Keel Fest is going to be awesome. That's at Bowie's. It's got Ron Keel, Steeler, Crashing Wayward in the 5th. And then Sunday I'm really excited for, because we're doing that comedy show to finish things off with Courtney Cronendold, Craig Gass, and Don Jameson.
Oh, man.
With Eric doing comedy. That's going to be great. But also Sunday afternoon at Full Moon Cineplex, we're going to do a screening of Kiss Exposed and have the comedians do live commentary to it. We did it with Phantom last year and everyone loved it. So we're trying it again with Kiss Exposed this time.
Okay, so the comedy thing is one of the things that we can explain. So basically, my understanding is Courtney and Craig write jokes, or just Courtney?
Courtney kind of shoulders the load on that.
Yeah. Courtney's the main, like 95% driver of that.
Yeah.
Right. So she writes the jokes, gives them to the rock star. They get on the stage completely out of their comfort zone, and they do 10 minutes or so. I want to say when we saw it in Nashville at the Creatures Fest, it was probably about 15 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but it was good. And
funny.
Seeing them, like at the beginning, you're not really sure how it's going to work, but as they go, they start getting a little more comfortable. And by the, 5th or 6th minute, they're kind of in a flow. That was one of my favorite things. What about you, Sonny?
Yeah, so Courtney's done this on the Monsters of Rock cruise. I think she did it on a Kiss cruise. I'm not positive of that. So I've seen her do it a couple of times. And what she does a good job of is she takes who the person's going to be and that what stories they have and tries to just make their stories jokes so they have punchlines, so that way it's more genuine. Now, if the person's not a storyteller, then she ends up, I think, writing a lot more jokes. So I'll tell you, Kip Winger did it, and all Kip Winger really did was kind of change how he told his stories, and it absolutely killed. Right? He didn't really have to have jokes written for him. I can tell you, Eric Martin is a prankster, right? Yeah. So he's not going to need any help with material. He needs help shaping his material.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually, funny you mentioned the Kip Winger thing, because Courtney and Don saw Eric at Rock Island in Florida recently, and he was still on the fence about doing the comedy thing. And then Don came up to him. He's like, "Well, Kip Winger did it on Monsters of Rock Cruise." He's like, "All right, damn it, now I have to do it." So he wants to prove that he's funnier than Kip.
So there's a question from G. John Clark right there. It says, "Is the comedy show Keelfest and Exposed screening all included or separate tickets?"
Separate tickets for all of those. Yeah,
right. It's different days.
Yeah. Rare Hair, the pre-party is Friday, the Expo and Keelfest are Saturday, and then the comedy show and the movie screening are Sunday. But everything is $20-$30, so it's all pretty reasonable ticket prices.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right, so if you guys out there have never been to, first of all, if you could get there, that's the most important thing. There's plenty of hotels in downtown Nashville, plenty of room. There's plenty of stuff to do if you want to come in a day early, if you want to stay a day late. There's plenty of stuff to do. We've actually done it all. We've shown up early, we've stayed late. You can come for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4, whatever you want to do. Come to the thing. Then Sonny and Lee and I will be there, along with how many other podcasts you have this year?
We have over 43 different podcasts coming from all over the globe this time. We've got a guy from England coming this time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And you come, there'll be tons of swag. Everybody's giving away stuff. I'm actually auctioning off a date with Lee.
What?
Oh,
I did not
this
agree
is news
to that.
to her.
That is news to me.
No, it's actually a date with Sonny. And
oh boy,
and the bidding starts at a penny.
Stop it.
My wife won't even bid that, so I don't.
Oh, jeez.
Listen,
I was checking out some of the podcasts that are coming, Chris, that I didn't know. And a lot of the times in the past when I've done that, it's like somebody getting started or they got 10 or 20 episodes. Some of these have like 400 episodes that have been around forever. I've never heard of them.
It's
right?
It's a big pond we're all swimming around in.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
But
so Adam wants to know if he could get a selfie.
I'll see how much money I have in my wallet. I'll pay you what I can.
Let's talk about one other thing. So people are asking, where is the expo? That maybe they're jumping in right now. Is there going to be Kiss merch there? I can tell you that there always is.
Of course.
There always is.
We have multiple Kiss vendors that will be at Rockin' Pod. You don't have to worry about that.
You see the Dynasty Bears behind me. I picked those up at the last one that you guys did. I picked
that's
those
where
up
you bought
there.
the puzzle with missing pieces too.
No, that was a
yeah,
different
you
time.
did. It was in the one. It was in the
that
one
was
room.
Indianapolis.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure. Joe Odell was there, and that's who I bought it from. And my brain remembers it because it was awesome to see you cringe while I spent that money.
Oh boy.
He was like, "You didn't even try to talk him down. What's wrong with you?"
Come on.
Anyway, listen, it's very important. Come on out, hang out with us. We're going to be, just about everybody is going to be podcasting from the event. And we're going to go live this time because we're going to be able to do it. I've figured that all out. and it'll be a lot of fun. There'll be a lot of recordings going on. We'll be videotaping and showing exactly what's happening at the Rockin' Pod. If you're in another country and can't make it, or if you're in another state and you can't make it because you got kids or you work or whatever, we got you covered. Podcast Rock City. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll be putting up updates all weekend long while we're doing that. Chris, anything else important to say before we move on?
Oh, let me answer that guy's question. The expo is at the Fairgrounds, Nashville. It's real close to downtown, and easy to find. It's one of their brand new buildings. That's going to be cool. And I was going to say, let me shell one thing for a second. So even if you can't make it, and I get that people have lives and they live far away. One thing you can do to support the event is do a raffle we're doing. We're giving away one interior cabin on the 2024 Monsters of Rock cruise. That's good. That's a raffle we're doing.
Nice.
And you don't have to be at the event to enter this raffle. So you can go to Rockin' Pod, or actually look on the Rockin' Pod Facebook page, and you'll find the link for it there. And enter as many times as you want. We'll announce the winner at Rockin' Pod, but if you're not there, we will have the passes sent to you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Can I enter and win?
Sure.
Everybody can enter and win.
Everybody
Sure.
can. I can't, but you guys
what's
can.
going to happen is I'm giving my money to Sonny. He's entering for me, and that's how I'll win, because he's the luckiest bastard on the planet of the earth.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that all being said, make sure you come out, and if you come out, come and see us. Tell us that you watch or listen to the show. Have a seat with us, and we'll throw topics at you. We'll do a Sweet 16 with you. Don't plan on seeing Chris, though. He's all over the place. He's all over the place.
You'll see me running from one area to
like,
another.
It's like, hi, Chris. Hi, Joe. How you doing? Choo, out the door. It's so much fun. Yeah.
John had a question there. How difficult is it to record live at the expo with all the background noise? It depends on if you have the right mic or not.
It's all about your gear.
Yeah.
It's all about the gear. So like if you have the Yeti, you can click it onto a spot where you're directly into the mic instead of the all around. And it's not as bad as you think it is, honestly.
No, yeah. I mean, I understand that if you go back and listen to the shows that we've done at expos or even at the Rockin' Pod, there's always background noise, but you can pretty much hear what's going on. There's usually not too much trouble. It's, it's just, you're at a live event. It's like taking out a microphone and at a concert and sticking it in the air and going, hey, let's go. But I think everybody does a real good job. I've listened to a lot of different people's recordings from the shows, and that's pretty good. All right. So
Lee, usually the mic isn't the problem. Is Joe's got the attention span of a gnat. So somebody walks up, hey, how you doing? Like right in the middle of things, like, hello, we're doing something. I can't just start talking to somebody. We're recording right now.
Quit breaking the fourth wall, Joe.
I'm telling you right now. I'm letting you know right now that he's talking about another Joe. It was an evil Joe, and I killed him.
Oh, brother.
I think I hung out with that guy.
Yes, it's true. I have pictures of you after.
Somebody's asking about the expo. Expo price is $20 for general admission. If you want to show up an hour early, it's $30.
$20. That's totally a deal. $20 or $30, and you get in a little bit early. Trust me, if you're a collector and you want to get in a little early for that stuff, because I'm going to be ahead of you. So make sure. Anyway, all right. So I've got a topic for us that's going to be a lot of fun. It may make some of you guys watching and listening cringe, but we're going to go for it. So let's get to the topic of the week.
Pop.
All right, so for you guys out there that are listening or watching for the first time, we do this show live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. And if you guys go to our YouTube page and subscribe, I do stuff all week long. I try to put up YouTube shorts. I try to put up little like polls and stuff on Facebook. If you enjoy talking Kiss, or you just want to break up the monotony of your week while you're at work and you're on lunch, you could go online and look and find things that I'm posting. And we all are. There's a lot of people that take part in these polls and stuff. Or just giving your opinion is awesome. So YouTube and Facebook, go ahead and subscribe to that. If you want to send us an idea for a show topic, you can send that to podcast Rock City 1.
That's the number 1
at gmail.com. Podcast Rock City 1. That's the number 1 at gmail.com. Right there is the topic. Kiss, take it or leave it. And what I wanted to do was ask each of you, I've got 10 or 12 different things that Kiss has done or whatever, and you're going to either choose to take it or leave it. So for instance, we'll start with the first one. I'm going to start with I'll start with Chris. He's our guest.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I posted this on YouTube, and I got a few people who answered. I'll tell you what their answers were. So take it or leave it, Chris. Beth, sung by ERIC CARR.
Oh, I'm gonna leave that.
Wow, you leave it. Lee,
Yeah.
take it or leave it.
You know what? I wasn't thrilled with Beth, but I love Peter's singing, so I gotta have to leave it. I love ERIC CARR though, but I'm just
Sonny,
not a big Beth. You know.
Oh, are you asking me if the
Man.
best drummer in Kiss sang that song, would I take it or leave it? I'll take it.
you'll take it. Okay, so you take the ERIC version.
Okay, 80s
Yes.
Kiss guy.
Okay, the
I
ERIC
love 80s
CARR,
Kiss, but I don't like him
Okay.
singing that song.
I
don't-
leave
I'd
it
rather-
too. I leave it too. I prefer the Peter Criss version, of course.
But
And
you
I'm
weren't
gonna-
comparing it. You said take it or leave it. So you'd rather not have it on Smashes?
No. That's
Oh.
what I mean. Yeah.
You did a
I
good
would
job
rather-
on it.
I would have rather
Well,
them
then-
put. I would have rather them put the Peter Beth on there.
Eric did a
Anyway.
good job though. It was good.
Yeah, but it's just not right to me. It doesn't feel right. That's why I leave
know.
it.
I get it. That's why I said the same.
That's why I leave it. So, Sonny, why do you take it?
I think, it exposes a song to the new fan base that we're building with the current drummer, and you can't just leave it. And you can't keep bringing the song back 10 years after the guy's gone to attract your new fans to a song that's sang by somebody that doesn't work here anymore. That doesn't make any sense.
It's his song.
So what? The 80s Kiss fans don't know that. I didn't know that when Eric did the song. I was like, that's a cool
y'all's
song.
problem. That's your guys' problem.
I'm
So-
trying to keep up with everybody that is saying on here. It's so funny. Okay, so Chris, why do you leave it?
Well, for multiple reasons. I mean, one, it's a greatest hits album, so let's put a different person singing one of maybe their biggest hit at that time. And also it was not only disrespectful to Peter, it was totally a dig at him. It's disrespectful to Eric. Hey, Eric, why don't you sing our biggest hit that somebody else sang? I don't think it's cool at all. It just put Peter's version on there, pay the man a few dollars, and be done with it.
Yeah. And Lee, you said you leave it too. I was
Yeah,
shocked by that. You shocked the people.
Shock the people. I love Eric Carr. I love he did a great job on it. I'm just not, like I said, I'm not a huge Beth fan, although I love Peter's voice and everything, but I didn't listen to it a lot when it came out with Eric Carr singing it.
Here,
Yeah.
I'll get a bunch of arrows flying at me right now. So if you guys got crossbows
Uh-oh.
where you are,
Eric
just fire them towards Ohio. I like Eric doing Beth more than I liked him doing Little Caesar.
More than Little Caesar.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
That is
Wow.
Go ahead, fire your crossbows, whatever.
pew pew.
Yeah. Send your hate mail to Podcast Rock City 1.
That's the number
Care
one.
of Sonny Pooney.
More hate mail for Pooney.
Okay. All right. So, all right, let's go on to the next one. All right. All right, we're going to stick with smashes, thrashes, and hits. Lee, we're going to go to you.
Okay.
What about the I Love It Loud version on that on that record? I'll tell you now, I leave it. If it doesn't have those big bombastic drums, I don't want it.
I like the original.
Sonny?
I don't even like the original. I would have left it on the cutting room floor.
What in the world?
I don't even
Hey,
that bottom 5
go back
song
to the
list. That'd
80s.
be on mine.
Go back to the.
I'm gonna get so much hate mail this week. Chris,
How can you not like Love It Loud?
I'll take it, but I'll say it comes with a caveat.
okay.
So this was the first way I heard the song. I hadn't heard Creatures of the Night when I got into Kiss, and then Smashes was like the first record that came out after I became a real big fan. So it was the only way I heard the song, and I loved it back in the day because I loved modern production at the time too. But I was also, I was a dumb 12-year-old. And then of course, down the road, I heard the original version. I'm like, okay, this is obviously way better, but I'll take it just because it's nostalgic for me.
Makes sense.
Gotcha. All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna leave Sonny off of this one.
Oh no.
You could ask me. My mind has changed
Ask
at the time.
It hasn't changed. All right, here we go. All right, Sonny, take it or leave it, The Elder.
I just don't love the album. I gotta leave it. Like there's songs nowadays I can probably, like if I had to choose between The Elder and Carnival or Souls, I can actually tolerate more of The Elder than I can Carnival, to be honest. So, but in the end, is it an album I go to? No. And if I never heard those songs again, would it matter to me? No.
Chris?
Oh, you know my opinion on this one. I'm gonna leave it. It's one of the worst albums in the catalog. I do not see the genius in it. I never have. It's got a couple of moments, but no. And I'll take Carnival of Souls over The Elder any day. Way better.
Wow. Lee?
I'll take it.
Take it.
I love The Elder. I listen to it quite often.
Yeah.
I hated it as a kid when it came out. I just didn't understand what they were doing, their look, and I just was like, what? I like boycotted it as a kid. But as an adult, I listened to it and I really like it. It really grew on me and I love it. So I'll take it.
I think one of the
Carnival
things.
of Souls, really? Come on.
I do think that one of the things.
On a hill with a stallion and a mare, really?
That's right.
Let me tell you I know you guys just saw the comments on The Elder just went boom, 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 boom. It's so crazy. I take this album. One of the reasons why I take this album is because I'm not a homer.
Total homer.
Oh, Homer. Always, come on.
Stop picking on me. But I cry. But I like the fact that I can put on the first Kiss record, the second Kiss record, the third Kiss record, and they sound like Kiss. But I could all of a sudden go to Dynasty and the next 3 or 4 records and get something completely different where the band took some chances. And then some people may say,
yep,
hey, look, they shouldn't have. And that's hindsight, in the end, you, of course, it's like some people saying, I hated Dynasty. What would you want them to get rid of it? No, I would want to get rid of it. They still took a chance. Right. And that's one of the reasons why I like it. I like I like a more, it's just more interesting than like stupid songs like Anything for My Baby.
Which is a good song.
Yeah, that's a strikeout for everybody.
I would not want them to not have it in their catalog because it's an interesting experiment. I'm fascinated by that era, but I just don't like the record.
Right. Okay, let's go on to the next one. All right, so let's see. We're to me. I leave it when it comes to the song I do not like the song. I think it's cheesy. The lyrics remind me of something that Neil Young would write. There's a lady in the car and they buy a garbage can. I don't even know his lyrics. They're bad. They're too terrible. Terrible.
Quite an impression.
Thank you very much.
Neil Young.
This bud's for you. Anyway, Lee, do you take the song I or leave it?
I love it. Love it. Not leave it. I love it.
Sonny?
It's classic Gene. It's supposed to be one of their anthems. That's what they were trying to do.
It's one of the songs I can now tolerate because I can imagine, okay, this thing Dynasty gets off the ground, they do some sort of musical theater to it. It would be the big closer.
The big closer. It's the theme.
I get it. It's
Brown
way
Brother
better
Anthem.
than some of the songs on that album. That's for damn sure.
Chris, what? Take it or leave it.
I'll reluctantly take it just because it's the most Kiss-like song on the record. Really, I mean, it sounds like something that could have fit on any of the. Although I don't know what the whole. I don't need no money. I don't.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah,
See?
what happened there?
Awesome. I love it.
The little snapping thing is just like too much.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
it's so
can
good.
you can
Come
keep the
on.
finger snaps. I'd get rid of that.
So you think I is more Kiss than the Oath?
Yeah, actually,
Definitely.
the Oath sounds
Yeah.
them like them trying to be Iron Maiden or something.
Huh. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, guys, listen. I know we're moving right along right now, and I know you guys are all listening. Thank you very much and watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button or whatever on the Facebook page and whatever else they have on YouTube. I don't know. There's a million things. We really do appreciate that. Helps the show when you guys do that. Let's see. All right. So that's where we are with I. Golly, I can't believe you guys love that song. All right, how about this?
Don't say love it.
Okay, good point.
I love it.
Lee, do
I
you
love it.
take or leave the Super Kiss look?
What does that mean? They're always super
Dynasty.
They're always super Kiss. I love it. What are you kidding me? I love. It just reminds me of my childhood, like usual. Just the capes. To me, it was like, oh, they were always superheroes. So let's all have capes and be colorful. I loved it.
Sonny?
I don't love it. I just don't. I really like Dynasty. I just think it was overdone. And when I look at like my favorite costumes or the costume eras or what they were wearing, I'd much rather have them what they're wearing at the Elder versus what they're wearing on Dynasty. It's just too gaudy. And I'd much rather have Love Gun. Like Love Gun's 1,000% better. I'm not
Of course.
I just whenever either Paul or Gene even go to an inkling to say, well, we were becoming, a band for kids and the cartoon was bigger than the band, blah. Well, look at how you were dressed. Like, who the hell came up with the idea? Right? So it's just too much. That's just personal opinion.
No, never too much.
Chris?
I guess I'm gonna leave it. I don't mind it. I think it. I mean, yeah, it is over the top. And I had more issues with the stage that they had for that one. I thought it was just a little too bare looking. It's like, instead of being dark, let's go with a white stage. It was like they were
Right.
completely trying to flip the script on their image. And like Sonny said, the Love Gun era look that's the best look they ever had, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's them like at their best. And if they had stayed in that kind of, keep everything black with studs and stuff. I think
Leather
they
and
should have.
studs.
Yeah, they should have kept that.
Don't get me wrong though, I love the color. Like the
Yeah, it's
hints
kinda
of the
cool.
color in the leather, I think would have
Amazing.
worked. It
Love
didn't
it.
have to be super gaudy.
Yeah, it was over the top.
Well, they're trying to be over the top.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, you can see why they did it. It makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, it is very over the top. I had more people that I knew that thought that Peter had monkey heads on his shoulders.
Come
Yeah,
on.
his
Then-
costume was the craziest.
Then never realized I remember one of my friends was like, why do you have those monkey heads on? I was like, they're lions, dude. Why would he have
Monkey
Mon-
heads.
monkey heads on the Catman suit? It
Come
made
on.
no sense. And they were like, oh my God, they're lions. Yes, this mane. And it's like, can you imagine how hot it would have been to play in that costume?
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
Gosh.
he only wore it when they rose up, and then he pretty much took half of it off anyway.
Took half of
Right.
it off, including
Yeah.
the boots. I
Yeah.
think he even went down there, changed his boots, and then yeah. All right, let's see. All right, so you guys out there are all over the place with these topics. That's awesome. If you guys want to write in, let us know. Podcast RockCity1, that's the number 1 at gmail.com. You can send us your opinions. We love them. There's no wrong opinion. That's the whole point. Everybody's got their opinion, and some of them, you like, some of them you don't like, but that's what makes this show so awesome, is we get to hear your opinion. Lee, take or leave. Great Expectations. I'll let you know already that I leave it.
I like it for some reason.
Oh
I don't
my
know
God.
why. I'm sorry.
Homer.
Sorry,
That's
Sonny.
why.
I'm not a Homer. I'm a 70s fan. Big.
It's like,
It's
I
all
can't
my
wait.
childhood. I liked, there were certain songs I did skip, but I left that one on for some reason.
Forget, at this Rockin' Pod, there is a good chance that Lee walks in and decks Sonny for calling him
Choke him.
Homer.
Arr,
And
finally in the flesh.
But the cool thing is that there is an extra charge to watch that. Got you, Chris.
We should
We
set
got
up
the
a
big little
wrestling
extra.
ring.
Oh, I got to get a ring and a referee and everything.
Yeah.
It's not the first time somebody's proposed having a ring brought to Brock and Pod, but that's a story we'll talk about off.
I'll have like the 70s on
with
my
one
shirt.
of your
and
past
80s.
guests.
Yeah.
70s versus 80s.
Okay, so she keeps it. Sonny obviously says,
Oh, it's one of the worst songs in the Kiss cat. It's
In
one of the
your
worst
opinion?
songs in music history. Not even the Kiss catalog. Music history. I blame Ezrin. His fault.
I can't even keep up with the comments are going
They're
by
going
on this
fast.
song so fast.
Thanks, Tommy. He agreed with me.
Yeah. Okay, Chris.
This is also a nostalgia take it because I love this song when I was first getting into the band. I don't know why, because in hindsight, when I listen to it now, I'm like, this is the cheesiest damn thing.
I know. I just liked it for some reason.
But I still feel I just get those little kid like 12-year-old person fans feelings when I hear
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
So I like it because it kind of transports me.
And that's the thing about music, right? It's all about timing
Right.
and nostalgia. Because let's be honest, that song gets released by somebody today, no matter who it is, we'd be
Oh,
like, that is the shittiest song ever.
Well, it's also a little creepy when you really pay attention to the lyrics.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. Now, as a kid, I didn't even know half those lyrics meant. You know, the
for
bad
me,
ones, love gun and stuff. It's like,
yeah, for me, smiling and clutching your breast is as bad a lyric as singing about anybody in your song named Tito. The minute you name Tito in your song, I'm like,
yeah, but he was king of the streets, man. I mean,
he was king of the streets.
Don't mess with him.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Did you guys know that Ace's house in Wilton, Connecticut was on Tito Lane?
I did
Was
not.
it really?
And Tito's king of the streets.
Why do you know it? That's what the question really is.
I have no life.
All right, listen. While I'm putting up everybody else's comments, I do want you guys to know that Chris does do a podcast called The Decibel Geek. It's not just Kiss, although I know from listening for years that they talk about Kiss on every episode.
Yeah.
At some point, it's unavoidable. He does the show with Aaron Camaro. Aaron is by far one of the most unique brains in the podcasting world. When I listen to him, what the crazy part is, if you listen to him talk, he seems a lot of times very sane. But then you meet him and you're like, this guy is not exactly sane, is he?
Well, wait till you see what he's wearing at Rockin' Pod this year.
It's not going to be the typical shiny silver suit.
I don't know about the suit, but he sent me a picture of the shoes recently, and wow.
Yeah, he is outrageous.
I'll tell you what floored me about Aaron was seeing him record a episode live. Right, so we're just talking, boom, boom, boom. He's drinking his beer, whatever, and then the minute we hit record, the guy goes to like radio jockey voice. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? There's no ums, there's no uhs. They're like perfect. I'm like, is this the same guy that was talking like 10 minutes ago? There is something about Aaron. He has got that down.
He can flip a switch and he's good to go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He absolutely does. All right, let's see. Let's move on. Sonny, take it or leave it. Kiss meets the Phantom.
Masterpiece.
Okay. I'm going to say leave it. I'm going to explain every time why I say what I say. I have no nostalgia. I didn't see it in Halloween of 78. I didn't see it till basically 88. Right? So it's like by the time it's like, what the hell is that bullshit? Right? Now, if I would have happened to been at Magic Mountain when that thing was going, oh, it would be the best thing since sliced bread, and it would be wonderful. But that's just not my connection with it. So I say leave it, because if it was on TV right now, I'd just shut it off.
Chris, how could you beat that?
I'm gonna be the other side of this. I'm gonna take it. I think it's not that it's some amazing film or anything. It's definitely horribly made, but it's a cool thing seeing the band that you love the most go, fighting vampires and Frankenstein and all kinds of stuff. It's goofy, but it's cheesy 70s campy fun. So yeah, I have no issue with Kiss Meets the Phantom.
Lee?
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Lee, before you go. You guys know who Kelly Hansen is, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's singer for Foreigner right now, singer of Hurricane, whatever. So he was being interviewed, and I think it was him that said they were on the way to Magic Mountain that day. Car broke down, got in a pickup with somebody else, and they were there for the show.
No,
they were there.
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Wow.
God, I wish they would release some real video footage of that. I'd love to see that.
There's got to be somewhere.
Yeah. Sorry, Lee, go ahead.
Oh, I take it. You guys know that. That's like Chris was talking about. All the 70s stuff transfers me right back to being 12 years old. It's sorry, son, you don't have those memories. Yeah. But I grew up with that, and then when it was on TV, it was like the biggest thing. Like my friend and I watched. It just reminds me of that, and I loved it at the time. It was so cool. I still love it. I watch it.
It's funny because Sonny's coming from the younger Kiss fans' perspective, but he sounds like the get off my lawn guy.
It's just when you get into it, like when I say, hey, have you ever heard Wanted Man by Rat? Like, I'm not the biggest PRC fan, but Wanted Man by Rat is amazing. How could you not like that song, right? But I'm like at the bang zone of right when I'm starting to listen to music. Right. So I saw those things on TV, and they're cheesy. Like, I see the video now on YouTube. I'm like, what the hell was I watching? Right. But for whatever reason, I'm still singing along.
Yeah.
Right. I'm still singing along with goddamn Boy George for some reason because of goddamn MTV. Right. So it's just how it is.
I love Boy George.
I feel like the opposite. Like, if you weren't there, you don't know what it's like. But I'm sorry, but it's true. You weren't there.
Yeah.
If you weren't in the 70s when Kiss was, you just don't understand fully.
Yeah, no. I agree. Now Chris has lived here in Georgia. Lee lives here in Georgia. I live here in Georgia. I will tell you guys that I remember on channel 69. I grew up in New York. Oh yeah, that's true. On channel 69, they would run Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park every once in a while. Nice. And it was two different versions. It was not like the Australian version. They would run the full version, and then it was just something that was shortened into like an hour and a half. Yeah. And I had both recorded on beta. I wish I could.
Oh no! Wow.
Yeah, so Betamax. Wow. Yeah. So
and back when they would run it on TV, they'd come back from commercial. Back to Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, starring Peter Criss. It's like, huh?
I still have the little TV guide clipping.
Yeah, I have the
my original
TV guide, and Ace has a beer on his head in the picture, and it's the funniest thing.
Perfect.
I have no idea why. Okay, so we did that one. Let's see. Next, Chris. Take it or leave it. Read My Body.
Oh, leave it. Every day of the week. Are the letters big enough? No. Horrible song. I was like in my prime Kiss fandom at that time, and even then I was like, this is terrible. I hated that song from day one.
Lee? You leave it.
I do.
You leave it. Sonny?
Loved it from day one.
I knew that.
Loved it from day one. There's not a lot wrong between Animalize and Revenge. There's just not a lot wrong.
There's a lot wrong.
And it's just, I'm getting into, you get into a band and you start kind of, listening to some of the old stuff, some of the current stuff. And then you get into this fandom where they can do no wrong. And I was right there when
So
Read
was
My
I,
Body
and I
came.
hated the song.
Oh man, I loved it. But see, I wasn't a musician, right? I was just taking it as a
Well, it's
fun
not musically
song.
bad. It's just
Yeah,
a
you
bad
don't have to be
idea.
a musician.
Yeah, loved it from day one.
Look, even the comments are all over the place. Love
I'm
it.
sure.
Thumbs
Yeah.
down.
It's a
Thumbs up.
polarizing
All when you
tune.
yeah.
I gotta love
somebody-
that drum machine track on there. Oof.
Hey, so
sounds like one of
somebody
those,
said
my Casio keyboard with the pads on it.
somebody wrote Lisa Martini singing "Read My Body" rocks.
Oh, I can imagine why that rocks.
Did
Brett,
she sing it?
you are a bad
I have
boy.
no idea.
Oh, she
But I
must
can
have done
imagine
it
I'll
on
ask
that.
her
She
about
must
it.
have done it on her show. We'll
Yeah.
we'll get a copy of it. So you guys are all over the place. I leave it. I don't like the song. It creeps me out. Lee, take
Creeps
it or
me
leave it.
Creeps
Lee,
you
take it or leave it. Sonic Boom.
Bye.
It's out. Wow.
I've listened to it once and I haven't heard it since. Nope.
Sonny.
I guess I'll leave it. It's not the worst Kiss
My
album.
goodness, we
to
agree
me.
on one.
It's not the worst Kiss album, but it's, after Psycho
Yes, sir.
Circus, I probably didn't need any more Kiss albums. I was like, you know what, that's good. Be a legacy act. I don't need these bands doing new albums. They don't do anything for me. Like that new AC/DC album that came out like a year and a half ago was fine, but
Right.
I don't need it. I'm good with what they had.
Yeah. Chris.
Oh man, Sonny, how can you say that, man? You host a music podcast.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'd rather have the newer bands coming out with newer
Well, I
stuff.
like the
Sonic
newer
Boom.
bands too, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to fault a legendary band for doing something new. But I mean, it's I'll take Sonic. I'll take it, and I'll take it over. I'll
You
take it
can
over
have it.
Psycho Circus. I'll take it over the Elder. No,
It's all yours.
it's a pretty honest. It's not the greatest album, but it's an honest record. And at least it, rather than them getting labeled the nostalgia writers like they have been lately, at least they were putting out new material. But I'll take Monster double over Sonic Boom. I think Monster is actually a really good record.
Oh, Jared Frank says Sonic Boom is finally on streaming.
Yeah.
Sir, when did this happen?
A couple
Like,
weeks ago.
yeah, it wasn't long ago. So that means it came out. Oh, that's 20 years, right? Because it came out in 2003.
Yeah.
So it hit the 20-year thing, and that
Yeah.
must have been the Walmart contract, maybe.
Yeah. The time limit. My cousin actually worked PR for Walmart, and she worked with Gene and Paul on the whole advertising campaign for that record.
Oh my God! Was
Oh
it
my
the one?
gosh.
Was it the one in Walmart when Paul's putting the makeup
Yep,
on?
she
the
was
lady?
there.
That is
Oh, that
one of
was
the
that's
damn
classic.
commercials.
Yep.
Yes.
She hung out with them for like 3 days.
Oh wow.
I have 5 copies of Sonic Boom, and
Yeah.
I've listened to
Of
one
course
of
you
them.
do.
It's like,
I don't
Purple
go back
one.
to
colored
it much.
vinyl. Huh?
Sounds the best. The purple one sounds the best.
The purple one just looks pretty as it's going around in circles.
Did you open the purple?
I have the purple one.
I did think the packaging for that was cool with the re-records and then the Buenos Aires DVD. I thought the packaging was pretty neat on that.
Yeah, you got. I mean, that was one of those times where they went, "Hey, look, this is crap we're putting out, so we really got to make sure that we give them extra stuff so they're happy." Didn't a poster come with the record too?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Modern Day Delilah. That's okay. Brent Denton wrote Modern Day Delilah. Delilah is an awesome song. I got to be honest. I do really like that song. It's a keeper. It's a keeper.
I think Yes, I Know, Nobody's Perfect, and Hot and Cold are pretty decent Gene songs. They kind of have the old school sound to them.
Let's see. Next. Okay, so now so that was just things. Now I'm going to give you some opinions, and you can go with my opinion or leave my opinion. So let's see. I'll start with Sonny. Sonny, I say Young and Wasted with ERIC CARR over Gene singing it.
I'm with you. Take it.
Take it. Chris.
Take it 100%. Way better with Eric singing.
Lee.
No way.
No.
She's not going to vote against Gene.
That's
She's never
silly.
going to vote against Gene.
That's silly.
So on the no, we're just gonna stick with Lee now. Let's get to the bottom of this. So on the Animalized Live Uncensored version, that just doesn't like rock your world. Compare like when he's singing it compared to when.
No.
No, you love the version.
I can imagine her watching for the first time, going, "What the fuck?" That's
I
a
did.
Gene
I'm like,
song."
What's going on here? That's the Gene song all the way.
I don't know, man. I listened to both today just to make sure that I wasn't going to be crazy when I made my comment on here, and apparently Lee thinks I'm crazy, but it's okay.
Well, I still love you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Let's see.
Is it possible that you, Chris, and I like the Eric better because it's faster? Is it just that? Maybe.
It's possible.
Well, I love Eric's voice on that.
Yeah, that's fine. But is it because it's faster?
Yeah, what
I don't
about
know
it?
about the speed. I just think he sounds angrier on it than Gene does.
Yeah.
He's really aggressive on it. I just think it's
Yeah.
cool. It's not like it's not even the best pitch either, but I just like his performance of it.
Yeah.
And did we ever see Gene do that song live with him singing?
I don't think so.
I think he did it on
It
the
was
Lick
something. Yeah, there was.
I think he
Did
did
he?
it on Lick It Up. Yeah.
Oh, did he?
I'd have to
Okay,
watch
I
that just to see how it compares.
All right, here we go. Let's go with Chris here. Unmasked over Monster.
Oh, no way to leave it. No, Monster's one of my favorite Kiss records, and I like Unmasked. I like several of the songs on it, but I'll take Monster over it for sure.
Monster over.
I'll be the one person that will. I know everybody else is going to pick Unmasked.
Sonny.
It's not even a contest. Unmasked would win a drag out knockout fight. I'd throw Monster cross 4 cars probably out the window. Unmasked is
Thank
awesome.
you.
Unmasked is so underrated.
Lee.
Unmasked, definitely. I agree
Unmasked.
with you, Joe.
Okay. All right. And once again, thank you guys for listening. We really do appreciate you being here on a Sunday night. Remember that we're here every week, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and you can see that I put everybody's comments as long as they're not like picking on me too hard. Nobody picks on me. Everybody is sweet and nice except for that Jared Frank guy. I'm just kidding. I gotta watch what I say because I don't.
You better watch yourself.
I gotta be careful. I love Jared. He's in 25 bands. If I really want to see at least 8 of them one day. Killer
I'm
drum.
outside the loop on this one.
Jared Frank plays in a Motley band. I think
Bon Jovi
band, a Kiss band.
Nice.
I can't think. Maybe a Journey.
Foo Fighter, I think.
Foo Fighter. He's just
I
a
think.
jack of all trades when it comes to drums. He's badass, and he's a lot of fun to hang out with. He and I serenaded him through an entire Bruce Kulick show one time. He sat next to me, or we stood together, and I just sang to him for a whole show. He'll tell you it's true.
You survived?
I hope you guys are very happy together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I love Jared. He's amazing. Okay, let's do one last one. I want to ask, or actually I got 2. Okay. So I want to ask, we'll start with Sonny. This is not a take it or leave it. This is something that I've never asked, and I was really curious. Do you have a favorite Kiss lyric that when you hear it, or like you're excited to hear it, or you love, this is the perfect, like, I'm glad this has been written. This is good.
It's not just one lyric. I really like the lyrics to Room Service. It's written really well.
Wow, Sonny.
Yeah, I'm a Dress to Kill fan anyway, but I really like, if I had to choose lyrics that I would want to write, I would probably want to write Room Service.
Wow. Interesting. Chris?
Anything for my baby?
No, you mess with me. You're
No,
messing with me.
Probably $1 million to 1. I just it sounds like
that's a good one too.
It's like a really pissed off breakup song.
Yeah. Lee?
Well, my favorite always is "Get Up and Get Your Grandma Out of Here." Come on, that's just a masterpiece.
Really?
Where he came up with that lyric.
It's great. It's so silly. I remember as a kid just screaming it, and my mother'd be like, "What
It's
the
like,
hell?
why are you getting grandma out of
Right?
here?
What are you talking about?"
I love I'm a man, I'm no baby, and you're looking every inch a lady.
Nice.
That's
good.
another. That's good. You know,
My
a Capricorn
favorite
and she's a
cheesy-
Cancer.
My favorite cheesy one is "Needing some lovin', I'm hot like an oven." I'm like, this is the cheesiest thing ever written,
And
and I love
that's
it.
stolen too.
And I love it.
That was from like a Wilson Pickett song or something. I
Was
think
it
that
really?
he got it from. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then one last question before we get out of here. I have asked Lee this, and I have asked Sonny this, so this question is just for Chris. What's your favorite Kiss album cover?
Oh wow. Oh,
It's tough.
Rock and Roll Over. I think I love the graphic on that, and you would think it would be something with like their physical faces on it, but I just love the design of that one. I think it just looks iconic to me.
Yep.
I always, whenever I see people with that tattoo, you know, they'll get it on their arm or on their back or something. I'm always like, that. There's so many different things going on in that picture.
It had to take them so long.
It had to take so long, and it had to be so painful. You know, just I have my share of tattoos. It's definitely, I can't even imagine sitting there. That outline is so detailed.
It had to be several visits.
Yeah, it has to be. Chris, first of all, tell everybody again what we're doing in a couple of weeks.
Rockin' Pod weekend, March 17th through 19th in Nashville. Concert Friday, convention, and a Keelfest 2 on Saturday. Kiss Exposed movie screening with comedian commentary Sunday afternoon, and a Punchlines and Backlines comedy show, and also Eric Martin acoustic concert on Sunday night. Tickets at rockinpod.com for each and every one of those events.
Man, let me tell you, it is fun every single time. We always meet people that we've never met before. If you're going to be there and you listen to this show, please come and say hi to us. If you're going to go shopping for Kiss merch, come and get me. I'll leave Sonny at the table and just go with you, and we'll shop together. It'll be amazing. And Lee might even come with us. She likes buying Kiss stuff.
A little bit.
She's got her whole house. Well, Chris, thanks, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us again.
It was a blast to do this with you.
We really, every year, man, you put in a lot of work, and it's not just for the show. It's for us. It's for Podcast Rock City. It's for all the people that, you know, that get to come to the Rockin' Pod. It's for all the podcasts that get an opportunity to be exposed to a new crowd. You know, to people who have never heard of them, you know, and that kind of a thing. We really do appreciate the hard work that you and your staff do.
Well, thanks, man. It's just, it's always fun to see everybody, the ones that come back year over year, like you guys, and a whole bunch of new ones every year. I always say we have a large dysfunctional family, and it gets bigger every year, but we're all happy.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely one of the highlights of the year every year.
What's that comment?
What comment? Unmasked, like a colonoscopy versus a root
They're
canal.
both,
They're both awful.
One saves your life, and the other one's just awful.
Wait, I don't know. A root canal can save your life.
Root canal does not have to be awful.
It can save your life. Well, Karen will tell you that it's awful, but
It doesn't have to be.
But it doesn't have to be. But it can also save your life because
Yes, it can.
Because having bad teeth can hurt your heart. Keep this in mind, people.
Systemic stuff. Yep.
Yep, I'm just letting everybody know. Look, Jared Frank can confirm Joe actually can sing. Karen's a lucky lady to get serenaded daily.
Liar, because I was there when Joe
Where's
said
Karen?
it too.
Karen.
I'm going to tell you that I think Jared on a Kiss cruise walked up to Karen and said something like, Joe sang to me for the whole show, and it wasn't really bad. It was actually pretty good.
It wasn't really bad.
Whatever he said. All right, so let's see. Sonny, do you have anything to add?
I know. Hopefully to see some of the folks at Rockin' Pod, and if you end up shopping with Joe, here's how it goes. I got 4 of those. I got 3 of those. I got that one in yellow. I got that one in purple. Ooh, is that one turquoise? Does it have splatter? I don't think I have that one. That's how it usually goes.
So evil. Lee?
This was fun. I had a great time. I love the comments so much.
Absolutely. All right. So once again, you guys, thank you very much. Podcast Rock City 1, that's the number 1 at gmail.com for emails. Subscribe and like the channel on Facebook and YouTube. We really do appreciate that. We've only got like 50 more subscriptions and we finally hit 1,000. I've been working really hard at that.
Oh,
and
I know you're happy.
I have no idea how some of the, well, like you're Joe whoever, and you put out the big shows and 500 million people watch. It's easy, but I'm in my basement in Temple, Georgia. And I'm old. I don't know how all this works. But we still are going to be here every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Thank you guys very much. You know what I'm going to say. We love KISS, and we love KISS podcasts. Most of them anyway, and you're going to hear the commercials for all the ones that you're really not on the live show, but on the version that I put on iTunes and stuff. You'll hear the commercials, and you're going to hear those in 3, 2, 1. Peace.